Back in the spotlight once again, Claressa Shields has the internet buzzing after another round of bold comments, emotional posts, and social media reactions that sparked fresh debate. Welcome back to the channel, Shadery. It's your boy Marcus Hale, and thanks for stopping by. Today we're diving into the latest conversation surrounding Claressa Shields. Online critics continue throwing all kinds of labels and opinions away, and the chatter only seems to grow louder. Or, as Chris Cyborg likes to say, it's duck hunting season. Claressa Shields has built a reputation for speaking her mind across social media, calling people out, firing back at critics, and keeping timelines active. At the same time, some online commenters argue that she frequently says she's being targeted, bullied, harassed, or treated unfairly, making it one of the biggest ongoing discussions surrounding her online presence. This latest wave of reaction started on Facebook, where another controversial post quickly grabbed attention. No matter which platform she uses, another debate, another disagreement, or another viral moment always seems to be right around the corner. So, let's take a look at what everyone has been discussing. One post especially caught people's attention after Claressa Shields shared a quote from the legendary CeCe Winans that read, "I thank God for stuff that only hurt my feelings for a little while," followed by a teary eyes emoji. She then added, "I promise to God I done been through some betrayals." That message immediately sparked conversation. Shortly afterwards, she posted, "But God said only for a little while. My heart is so pure. I love that for me. I don't let none of these evil people change my heart. I am so blessed." She also shared a screenshot from CeCe Winans' Believe for It live worship experience. As a result, many online observers connected the worship content with the emotional message she was sharing. Some commenters viewed the post as Claressa Shields presenting herself as someone with a pure heart who believes she's been misunderstood despite the controversies surrounding her, while others interpreted them differently. That difference in perspective is exactly why reactions remain sharply divided. One post grabbed attention as Claressa shared CeCe Winans' quote to her as emoji, "I thank God for stuff that only hurt my feelings for a little while." Then Claressa added, "I promise to God I done been through some betrayals." That post instantly sparked public chatter. Then Claressa doubled down and said this, "But God said only for a little while. My heart is so pure. I love that for me. I don't let none of these evil people change my heart. I am so blessed." She also shared a screenshot of CeCe Winans' Believe for It live worship experience. So she's listening to gospel music and worship content, and many people online are connecting that to the message she's sharing about herself. Critics see her as portrayed herself as someone with a pure heart who claims she has been misunderstood despite ongoing controversies surrounding her online narrative. That's why reactions have been so divided. Overall, what many critics question is a gap between those statements and the public. Situations she's been involved in recently, now they argue that. It's hard to understand how someone can describe themselves as having a pure heart while also being linked to a relationship with a married man. Others also point to the public disagreements she's had with well-known figures like Layla Ollie Franch Cruz, discern Alicia Bone Gardner, and Remy Ma. Those are opinions circulating online, and they've continued to spark debate. Whenever her name starts trending again, then another post emerged. Grabbing attention, instantly Claressa quoted a message that read, "And it's something that made you so-called solid witches," followed by an insult and ended with, "Because deep down you corny." That post immediately got people reacting, and critics quickly responded with comments like, "Is the corny in the room with us, Claressa?" The back and forth just kept rolling. The response many online users had after viewing those posts circulating widely. Critics argue that this has become a pattern with Claressa. In their view, she often presents herself as the person being wronged and putting the blame on everyone else instead of acknowledging her own role in the controversy. That's an opinion that continues to come up whenever another online dispute starts. Now let's get into another post that some people believe may have been aimed at bloggers and content creators. "You can decide for yourself," she wrote. "Nobody should be broke in today's time," followed by several loudspeaker emojis, and she added, "Pick up your funky-ass phone and don't clout chase, but find your target audience, then post with even more loudspeaker emojis." She didn't stop there in the comments. Claressa also wrote, "Listen, it's pages that dedicate their whole page to me and get no engagement. Claressa Shields is not your target audience, and they want you to post something else." That statement immediately got people talking. The first question many people asked was, Who are you talking about if there are specific pages critics wondered why she didn't mention them directly instead of keeping it general? That only added more speculation and more discussion online. Supporters and critics alike claim most attention around Claressa comes directly from her own public posts, live streams, interviews, and online exchanges across every platform cycle now. Over the past couple of years, her relationship with Papoose, social media arguments, heated reactions, and public disputes have generated non-stop conversation across multiple platforms. Those moments have given commentators plenty of material to discuss, supportive or critical. Some critics have questioned whether the constant online back and forth keeps her name trending and extends the ongoing conversation cycle. Others have speculated whether certain stories are amplified to stay in spotlight, though those claims remain unverified across discussions online. Either way, every new post seems to spark another wave of reactions, and the debate doesn't appear to be slowing anytime soon now. Claressa, critics argue you can't keep making controversial online moves and expect nobody to react at all. That's not how social media works. If a public figure creates headlines, people naturally go on to discuss them. That's long been true for celebrities, athletes, entertainers, and influencers alike. Many critics also believe the focus could be very different. Instead of conversation centered on online drama, they feel it should focus on her accomplishments inside the boxing ring instead. Claressa has built a strong boxing career, yet they argue repeated social media disputes risk overshadowing those achievements and create unnecessary distractions around her public image here. For example, in a recent rankings discussion, some observers pointed out they mainly saw Claressa sharing the news herself along with posts from Salida Promotions page. They also noticed that other major boxing pages and several fellow fighters didn't appear to make the rankings a major topic across their own social media accounts. That's simply an observation, fueling more online conversation waves. Critics say one of the biggest disagreements comes from how Claressa interprets attention she receives online there. They argue not every negative comment or critical video is part of an organized effort against her there. Instead, they believe many creators are simply reacting to public posts, interviews, live streams, and controversies already making waves across social media platforms online. At the end of the day, the debate comes down to perspective. Claressa has suggested some bloggers and media figures unfairly target her there, while critics argue they're commenting on situations she has publicly shared herself. As long as those public moments continue, the online discussion will likely continue as well here. There's a difference that a lot of people point out. Critics argue they're not creating stories out of thin air. They're reacting to what Claressa Shields publicly posts online, says during interviews, discusses on podcasts, and shares about her relationship with Papoose. They also point to her live streams where she frequently interacts with comments, even while discussing training and her career there. That's the content that keeps the conversation going. Then there's the ongoing discussion about fight announcements. At the time of this recording, there's talk that another announcement could be coming, but some fans have noted that similar updates were mentioned before without official confirmation following right away now. Because of that, every new tease is met with excitement from some people and skepticism from others. That's simply how the audience has started reacting. Critics argue that these situations ultimately create expectations that aren't immediately met, leading to endless online jokes, commentary, and debate online cycles. They believe the cycle repeats itself whenever another big claim surfaces, and then takes time to develop again. Some commentators have also suggested that Claressa's biggest frustration may not actually be with bloggers or media personalities, but with her personal situation involving Papoose. That's speculation from critics, not an established fact. Those same commentators argue that public response to the relationship hasn't matched what they believe she expected here. Another point that frequently comes up is changing public descriptions of Papoose's relationship status here. Critics have noted that earlier statements refer to him as actively going through divorce, while later comments described him as separated here. That shift has fueled even more online discussion, with people continuing to debate timeline and public messaging surrounding the situation intensively now. Critics argue this is where situation becomes even more complicated now here. They believe that if the public narrative has shifted from discussing an active divorce to simply saying someone is separated, then it raises questions about where things actually stand now. In their view, that change has only added more confusion and more speculation online. Many of those same critics also point back to comments Remy Ma made during one of her live streams. In that broadcast, she was highly critical of both Papoose and Claressa, arguing that he wasn't someone worth all the public drama or constant online arguments. Remy also made several allegations about Papooses' finances and personal behavior. Those were her claims, and they have not been established fact here. Because of those statements, some commentators believe Claressa may now be facing the same issues that Remy publicly warned about. Again, that's speculation from critics, but it's a viewpoint that continues to circulate whenever the situation is discussed. Another question critics keep asking is what has actually been gained from all the public attention here. They point out that there's been ongoing backlash, continued debate, and constant headlines. While they see little indication that the controversy has produced the outcome Claressa may have hoped for here, critics also argue that Papoose deserves just as much scrutiny. In their view, he's an active participant in the situation and is responsible for his own decisions. Some even believe he's benefited from the extra attention surrounding the controversy, although opinions differ on whether that attention has helped his public profile in any meaningful way. Either way, both names continue to be tied to the story whenever another chapter unfolds. At the end of the day, critics argue that all of this attention hasn't really shifted the conversation in the way Papoose may have expected. Instead, the focus has stayed on the ongoing controversy, the public back and forth, and the questions people continue to ask. Whether you agree with those opinions or not, the discussion clearly isn't slowing down anytime soon. That's it for today's video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree with these takes, or do you see the situation differently? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and share it with someone who follows boxing and celebrity news. Thanks for watching, Shader. I'm Marcus Hale. Stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next.